Hey, you can't get rid of us. We're back again. This is Boo Boo Barrett.
That's what I was thinking.
Hello, my little Boo Boo.
There's Yogi. Yay, Yogi.
Yogi.
And where's and you're the
Quick Grawl McGraw.
No.
The Forest Ranger.
The Forest Ranger. And he's got the picnic basket.
People know what we're talking about. They're old like us.
Yeah. Well, hey, we can segue into old movie theaters.
Old drive-ins.
Okay, I got a question for you. Did you ever drive away with the speaker still in your window?
Yes, but it caught before. I mean, I stopped before it ripped it off. Yes,
before it ripped your window out.
Because you roll the window down a little bit and hang it on the window.
I've never driven into a drive-in the theater and you've seen a speaker laying on top of the thing had already been ripped off.
Yes, but I never did that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll tell you the most interesting drive-in I ever went to was in Sarasota. They had a double drive-in theater.
I know where that's at.
And so they had a screen on the south side and a screen on the north side, and then you either parked on which movie you was going to watch, and they had the microphone for the movie you want, but it was air conditioning.
Whoa.
For 50 cents.
Whoa.
You took a tube, you rolled down your back window, and you put it in, and you put 50, and it air conditioned your car during the whole movie.
It looked like a vacuum cleaner.
Did you have to
too.
stick 50 cents into something?
Yes, it was a box, and then it
like
just
a vacuum cleaner thing.
and then whenever you got ready to leave, you pushed the button and it shut it down. But it ran the whole time that you was there.
I moved to Florida in 1981, and it was still there.
Yes.
And they were still using it.
But that was the coolest drive-in. Well,
I would go to my friend's house, and we'd sit in his backyard, and we'd watch the movie, the drive-in movie.
And you know, that thing was close to Cattleman's out there, believe it or not. But I think there was a Home Depot or a Scotty's or something built on the property when they tore it down. But it's hard to find where the drive-in was located. But I know after you pass Cattleman's going on Bee Ridge, it was over on the left-hand side there. But I went to quite a few movies over there, and I started going there because it was air conditioned. You didn't have to light up your pick, your mosquito pick.
You light up my pick.
Do you remember the pick commercial? They'd have it on the screen, and they said they go dive bombing towards a car, all the mosquitoes, and then they go, they put on brakes, and they say, "Oh no, it's a pick," and then they'd take off. And for you people out there that don't know what a pick is, it's a round circular coil,
green,
and it's green. You light it, you put it on your dash, and it's a mosquito repellent.
It slowly burns.
And it slowly burns. You put it on there, but to keep mosquitoes out. But still, I was talking about the air conditioned drive-in. Even though you got that going, you can't run your car during the whole movie and run your air conditioning, so you shut that off. But the luxury of Sarasota, and that was, two different birds there.
Something we also missed out on was that they have now is delayed windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Back then, you just had to leave your windshield wipers on or turn them on once in a while.
Yes. And people sneaking people in the trunk, they would pop their trunk and load their friends in there, and then whenever we would get into the drive-in, you pop the trunk and they
drive around back, let them all out, and then they jump
I
in
did
the
that to
front.
my friend Fred. He got in my trunk, and you know how you go through the drive-in, you get these humps.
Yep.
Go over the humps. I just went around the drive. I was just going through all kinds of humps.
You'll teach him.
He's banging on the trunk. I had a black Belvedere. It was a 1960 Belvedere. And he was beating on. I thought he was going to put big dents in my trunk.
Really,
I finally had to
come
stop
out where the speakers
he was out
are.
there trying to kick it open with his feet.
Think about this whenever you took your sweetheart out there. How many movies did you actually see from the beginning to end when you was out there with your sweetheart? I started thinking about
all of them, of course.
I don't remember all of them, but I remember parts of them because you was with your sweetheart, of course, but a lot of the movies I'd be watching it on TV, and I said, I missed that part somewhere.
Isn't that when you went to the concession stand?
Yeah.
They didn't turn the movie off.
Right, you could still look at the screen, and you could hear it.
Go to the concession stand.
Right.
And everything.
And they had there's always a double feature, and in between they'd have these cartoon clips of go to the snack bar, dancing hot dogs and sodas and stuff.
That was pretty neat. Oh, that was
Luke will remember this. There was a 2-story house close to the drive-in here in Arcadia. I said, that's the luckiest kids on the face of the earth because they can go upstairs, open up their windows, and watch all the movies that you want.
And light up their pick.
Yeah.
Because they got the window open.
And it's right across the road there, and you could see the screen. Mm-hmm. The house was kind of cocked like this to the side, and where they could look right at the screen over there. But
this was up in Brownville, where the drive-in was.
Yeah,
it was called the Arcadia Drive-In. In the old ads, it opened around 1950.
Yeah, a lot of the drive-in theaters, once they started going out of vogue, they started showing Christian movies.
I started showing Spanish movies.
Well,
they
started having church services at the drive-ins during the day. The preacher would get up there and everybody put the thing in their car, and he would preach from a stage up there to the people that were in the drive-in slots.
They had intermission to go get popcorn.
That one we went. That one we went to in Havendale Boulevard. In between Winter Haven. That's one of the first ones I saw that did that. Turned it into a church.
There was a church in Sarasota that had, if you didn't want to go into the church, you'd go into the drive-in part and put the speaker in your window.
Really?
It was drive-in church.
And somebody came outside with the offering plate and ran from car to car, sticking it in your window.
Probably.
That was it was on Route 41 or 301 41. Actually, it was in Bradenton. Yeah.
There was a drive-in or
a
church
with a drive-in with like a drive-in theater.
So evidently it used to be a drive-in theater. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, but you could go inside or you could sit outside and listen in your car.
There used to be one in North Fort Myers I went to a few times. Somebody tried to tell me where Grants and Publix is located now in Charlotte Harbor. There used to be a drive-in right there years ago. I said, I don't remember that one either, but they said there was a drive-in there.
Would have been in our lifetime.
There was one in Lakeland, one in Bartow. Of course, Wauchula had one between Bowling Green and Wauchula that we used to go to when we were kids.
There was one over between Avon Park and Sebring.
Yes, we walked to that one, Luke.
It was called Sevon. Sebring, Avon, Sevon. Yeah. That's where your buddy Savon got her name. She was named after that drive-in.
Really?
Yes, she was.
Wow.
Learn something every day.
Yes,
that's true.
But there's a story behind that drive-in. When Luke and I went to church camp years ago, we stayed up all night fighting, having pillow fights, just fighting in general. So our counselor in our little cabin says, well, I'm going to take you boys on a trip to a drive-in. And so we started walking. We didn't know we was going to walk from Avon Park to Sebring in the middle of the night. We said, how far? Over the hill, round the curve, by the lake. We get over those three. How much farther, Mr. Parker? Oh, over the hill, round the curve, around the, and we walked, and we walked.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you wasn't? I thought you was there. We walked, and then we got there.
Bruce was
the movie was going, we walked in, and they're all looking at this counselor with these little kids late at night, and we walked in and sat down and watched it a little bit, and he said, about after 10 or 15 minutes, we drank. So he said, okay, it's time to head back. So we had to walk all the way back from Sebring to Avon Park, and the next day, we were dead, man, and that night we slept.
I heard that. That's pretty good strategy right
but
there.
He took us all the way to that drive-in way over there, and that's something I'll never forget.
Did he give you the gospel on the way?
No, he just kept... I think he was just laughing inside the whole time because he says, I'm going to teach these boys a lesson.
Yeah, I went to camp one time in my life, church camp, and that was the most miserable thing I'd ever done in my life.
Really? It was several years.
In the dorm, they were throwing M&Ms. In the dark.
I'd catch them and eat them.
Stand
there with your mouth open.
He throw the light on. I mean, he was getting madder and madder and madder. He turned the lights off, and they start throwing them again. Oh. And I'm trying to sleep, and I'm an adult. I
ain't wasting no good M&M on anybody.
Oh man!
How did you miss that?
I wasn't living here yet.
You wasn't living here yet?
I was still in Louisiana.
Oh man, what a memorable trip that was walking to the drive-in theater.
I think drive-in theater should come back.
Me too. Well, speaking of coming back, we're going to come back in just a few seconds with segment 4, the If Bomb. So thanks for listening, and we're going to make like a banana and split.